Today, we'll learn how to create a complete Excel dashboard from scratch using pivot tables and charts. This tutorial will guide you through every step, from inserting pivot tables and organizing your data, to designing a clean, professional-looking dashboard with multiple visuals. By the end of this video, you'll be able to turn any dataset into an interactive and insightful Excel dashboard that looks ready for real-world analysis. To start with the dashboard, we'll first need to create pivot tables for each visual that will appear on our dashboard. Begin by going to the Insert tab and clicking on Pivot Table. Then select from Table or Range. In this box, the table name will already appear in the Table or Range field because our data has already been converted into a table, and we have selected one cell from that table. Choose New Worksheet and click OK. This will create a new pivot table on a new sheet. Now that we have our first pivot table, we need to place the correct fields into the rows, columns, and values areas. To show a monthly sales trend, drag Month into the Rows section and Total Sales into the Values section. Excel will automatically convert it to Sum of Total Sales. This gives us the monthly total sales in summarized form. Next, we'll copy and paste this pivot table right beside the first one. After pasting, we'll change the fields for this new pivot table. Replace Month with Product Category and replace Total Sales with Profit. This gives us a pivot table that shows profit by product category. For the third pivot table, we'll again copy the first pivot table and paste it beside the second one. This time, we'll change the fields from Month and Total Sales to Branch and Total Sales. This gives us a table showing the branch-wise sales performance. For the fourth pivot table, we'll use Product Category again, but this time with Gross Margin in the Values section. For the fifth pivot table, we'll use Payment Method and Total Sales. By default, it will show the sum of total sales, but we'll change this. To do that, click on the drop-down arrow next to Sum of Total Sales, go to Value Field Settings, and change Summarize Value by from Sum to Count. This means we're now counting the number of sales transactions instead of summing their total value. Next, we'll display this as a percentage. Click again on the drop-down arrow, go to Show Value As, and select Percentage of Grand Total. Now we can see what percentage of total transactions were made through each payment method. For example, card payments might make up 25.4% and wallets 25.8%. For the sixth pivot table, we'll use Product Name and Sum of Quantity. For the seventh one, we'll use Product Category and Sum of Cost. Finally, for the eighth pivot table, we'll use Sales Grade and Sum of Total Sales. Now we have 8 different pivot tables, which we'll convert into 8 visuals for our dashboard. To begin creating visuals, select a cell from the first pivot table, go to the Insert tab and choose a line chart. Excel will automatically generate a line chart based on the selected pivot table. Cut this chart, open a new sheet, and paste it there. This new sheet will be our dashboard sheet. After pasting, click on the chart title to rename it appropriately, and then remove the legend by selecting Legend and choosing None. We can see that the chart's vertical axis starts at 0, while our actual data starts around 8,000, which makes the visual less clear. To fix this, select the chart, go to the Format tab, click on Vertical Axis, and change the minimum bound from 0 to 6,000. This makes the visual more accurate, as it now focuses on the actual range of values. Also, remove the grid lines to make the chart cleaner. Next, go back to the pivot table sheet, select a cell from the second pivot table, and insert a bar chart. Once inserted, cut it and paste it onto the dashboard sheet. Edit the chart title, remove the legend, and remove grid lines, just as we did before. For the third pivot table, we'll insert a column chart. Again, we'll cut it, paste it onto the dashboard, and clean it up by removing legends and grid lines. For the fourth pivot table, which shows Product Category and Sum of Total Sales, we'll add another value to make it more meaningful. In the pivot table field list, drag sum of cost into the values area. Now the table includes both sales and cost for each category. We'll then insert a combo chart, which shows one value as columns and another as a line. In our case, total sales will be shown as columns and cost as a line. After inserting the chart, we'll edit its title and formatting, but keep the grid lines visible since they help compare the two different values more easily. For the fifth pivot table, which shows payment method and count of total sales as a percentage, we'll insert a donut chart. Once inserted, we'll edit the chart title and paste it on the dashboard sheet. To make the chart more informative, we'll add data labels. Click on the chart, go to the Chart tab, select Data Labels, and click Show. This will display each payment method's percentage directly on the chart. Next, we'll make a small adjustment to the sixth pivot table. Since it shows product name and quantity, we'll filter it to display only the top 5 products by quantity. To do this, click on the drop-down arrow of Product Name, go to Value Filters and select Top 10. Change it from 10 to 5. Then, sort it in descending order so that the highest quantity appears first. We'll create a bar chart for this table and paste it into our dashboard after editing the title and removing unnecessary elements. For the seventh chart, which shows product category and cost, we'll add sum of profit to the values area. This lets us compare cost and profit side by side. We'll create a column chart where the blue columns represent cost and the pink ones represent profit. Once it's formatted and placed on the dashboard, we'll proceed to the final pivot table. The eighth pivot table shows sales grade and total sales, so we'll create a column chart for it as well, following the same formatting process. Now that all charts are ready, let's add a few summary metrics such as total cost, total sales, total orders, and total profit. Scroll to the bottom of the main dataset. At the end of each numeric column, you'll see a drop-down menu. Click on it, select Sum for Cost, Sum for Total Sales, Count for Quantity, and Sum for Profit. This gives us the overall totals for each measure. To display these totals clearly on the dashboard, go to the Insert tab, select Shape, and choose a rectangle. Resize it and type inside it, for example, Total Orders, 500. Align the text in the center, increase the font size, and make it bold. Copy this shape 3 more times and update the values and labels to total cost, total sales, and total profit using the numbers from your calculations. Cut and paste these shapes above the charts on your dashboard sheet and align them properly for a clean layout. Once done, return to the data sheet and delete the row where we added those calculations to keep the dataset neat. Now the main dashboard structure is complete. To make it visually appealing, we'll adjust chart colors and positions. Some charts, like column charts, may clutter the look, so we'll change one of them, such as the last one, into a pie chart. Make sure its data labels are visible and positioned on the outside end, and move the legend to the right side of the chart. Next, we'll change the colors of all visuals to follow a consistent theme. Select a shape, go to the Shape Format tab, click on Fill, and select a shade of orange. Then, change the outline color to white. Repeat this for all 4 shapes. For the charts, select each chart, go to the Format section, and change their series colors to shades of orange. In line charts, remove the circular markers by selecting Marker Options and choosing None. For pie and donut charts, each segment needs to be changed individually. Right-click on each segment, select the paint bucket icon, and choose different shades of orange to give a clean, unified look. For combo charts, choose distinct but matching colors for both the column and line sections. Repeat the same for cost versus profit charts, and for bar charts, make sure their colors match the overall theme. Finally, adjust the shapes above the charts so their widths match the charts below. Now, the Excel dashboard is complete, clean, professional, and visually balanced. It includes multiple chart types like line, bar, column, donut, combo, and pie, all unified under one color scheme, along with key metrics displayed at the top. So this is how you can create a complete Excel dashboard using pivot tables and charts from scratch. We started by building the pivot tables, then moved to visuals, formatting, and finally created a professional dashboard layout. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more Excel and data analysis tutorials.